Cork 219, Limerick 113 at the Gaelic Grounds. 3 games from 3 in the treaty don't yet have a point. No, we were obviously here last year when they didn't win at all in the first 3 games. They did manage to draw, but they turned around and they won the All-Ireland in dominant fashion. So I'm sure John Kiley isn't getting in any way worked up over this. But one thing you'd have to say is bring on the Munster clash of these two teams, because they clearly do not like each other after being hammered in the All-Ireland final last year. What a blow that would have been to Cork, and just even like in terms of like their own belief, masculinity, because they were, bullied all over the field. It wasn't going to happen in this game, and it definitely didn't. And it probably did mean an awful lot more to Cork than it did to Limerick in this game. But I mean, big games like this, when you're out in the field, it's all about laying down a marker, and nobody goes out in the field to lose, never mind get absolutely hammered, especially in that first half. I mean, 9 points isn't the end of the world for a team, but 2-13 to 5 points at halftime, that's just not great for Limerick at all. And you go through some of the stats: 3 points from playing the entire half, just 2 of those from forwards, Seamus Flanagan, who was sent off just before the break, David Reedy on the 22nd minute, and then Darragh O'Donovan, he got a point, obviously a midfielder. But it's all the main men for Limerick. Unbelievably quiet in this game, never truly got going. It didn't really happen for Cian Lynch. Declan Hannon didn't, he's normally so dominant. Kyle Hayes didn't have for him. Aaron Gillane came in, he gave Niall O'Leary a bit of trouble, but, didn't really kind of catch fire either. And it just showed that John Kiley making so many changes at halftime and bringing on Aaron Gillane and Will O'Donoghue and Diarmuid Burns. And then, of course, he'd already brought in Richie English because of the presumed concussion to Sean Finn. So he was putting out as strong a team as possible. And you just wonder, is that Kiley bringing off, all the players that he was kind of trying out, or most of the players that he was trying out that don't ordinarily start? Is that kind of, do we read into that a little bit and think, well, what does he think about the depth of his panel? Because, he's down a couple of players like Peter Casey, Barry Murphy, who I know wasn't really starting so much. Well, he obviously didn't feature all that much in the last couple of years. But, the thing that comes out of this game is not that Limerick won't contest the All-Ireland. Obviously, they will be a huge front runner in terms of like winning Munster, and all the way. Everyone, I think, expects Limerick to challenge for their 4th All-Ireland in 5 years. It's not about that. It's just that if they're down another player or two, will they end up then still? Do they have the same level of depth? And that's just the question that comes out of this. Not that they don't have the class to win in All-Ireland, because they'll still be thereabouts. I think Cork really did want to lay down a marker here. And the thing from the get-go that really stood out to me is not only was it the bravery of working the ball around the place, which Limerick always show, but the fact that they were running straight up the guts of Limerick and saying, we're going straight down the middle of the field. And, they could have had another goal early on. After 5 minutes, Robbie O'Flynn was running through, and he was done for a throw to Shane Kingston, and Kingston was running through. This was before he scored either of his 2 goals, so potentially he could have got 3, but the referee Sean Stack pulled him back. Now, this is a feature we've seen all weekend. Players been done for throwing the ball, and Cian Lynch got caught for it. A load of players got caught for it, and I wonder, is it a real thing that the GA and the referees, administrators, our assessors are focusing in on? Because it was just in every game that I've seen. It happened plenty of times in the Tipperary-Dublin game also. And it's something that people often throw at Limerick. So I'm wondering, is it a response to that? The 2 goals that Shane Kingston got, both, again, brilliant stuff from Cork, driving down the centre. And Patrick Horgan, that little slick hand pass where he laid off for Conor Lehane to take the shot that was blocked, and Kingston knocked it into the net. I thought that was so smooth from Horgan. I thought Conor Lehane was brilliant. He was obviously away last year, but he's come back this year. And the games that I've seen him feature in against Offaly early on, especially, and also in this game, he's actually bringing other people into the play now. Before, he was a player that I thought always looked for his own score. And then, afterwards, if he couldn't get his own score, maybe he'd pass it off. In this game, again, he did that once or twice. Obviously, a forward is going to go for scores. But he's bringing other lads into the play, and I think he was very good. Both he and Horgan tired. And you could see 45th minute, Lehane just kind of ran out of gas at a certain move. He got turned over and he couldn't quite get back to chase. And then Kingston made the change. Then Horgan had 3 wides in a row late on in the second half. He was taken out. But like the subs they have, like Alan Connolly, Seamus Harnedy, Jack O'Connor was brought in. What depth there. Now, I mean, it'd be very easy to be reactionary and say, panic stations for Limerick. I don't think it is at all. I've already made that point. They did come out and win the second half too. They won it by, I think it was 1-8 to 6 points. So obviously they did very good. From Cork's point of view, they just had to make sure that they didn't concede a lot of goals. Now, obviously they did concede one when Niall O'Leary got turned over. Now, It's hard to see how he got concussed there, but obviously he took a blow and he looked a little bit dazed going off. He should have got rid of the ball. Now, Cian Lynch was kind of tackling him and did sort of glance him on the head. Now, I'm not saying it's a yellow card or a red card, not at all, but it probably was a free. And obviously then Will O'Donoghue worked the ball to Cathal O'Neill, and he finished brilliantly from the probably about 21 yards out. But to the red cards, I mean, we'll talk about this on Monday's Our Game show, and please join us for that. But I think both of them were absolutely deserved. I think Shane Kingston, it's like, I think he was going in to meet Sean Finn and meet him hard. I don't think he went out intending to smash him in the head. But there was obviously the after effects from Kingston scoring that second goal when he pulled the rebound into the net. He was on the ground, and I think Finn left a little one in on top of him that was unnecessary and a little bit late. And I think Kingston had retribution on his mind, but I don't think he was looking for the head hit. He got it, and definitely a red card, and it's dangerous, and hopefully Finn is okay. A couple of minutes later, then obviously something similar at the other, well, sorry, it's not similar at the other end, but Seamus Flanagan went in, he had the hand up high. Mark Foley said on TG Cahir, a Limerick man, deserved red. To me, it seemed to deserve red, and I didn't see anything to suggest that it shouldn't be afterwards. So those were the red cards, and I think you probably could have had more later on. There was a bit of argy-bargy. Sean Toomey left it in on Declan Hannon. Hannon could have got a second yellow card for the little dunt he did. Before that, Darragh O'Donovan and Tim O'Mahony were getting to know each other out on the wing, and Darragh O'Donovan's hurley did go high and loose, and if he connected, he would have been red carded as well. So it's interesting. What do people think? Are people clamping down on Limerick and our referees, in the sense that there's now this perception of some of the heavy tackling, some of it a little bit high? And look, as I've said before, I wouldn't shy back from calling out some of this, and I do think that there's probably no harm to rein it in a little bit here. But that's, as I said, that's not to say that they're gone. I'm just going to run through a couple of comments here. There's blood in the water around Limerick. Knives are out. Curious, do people think that? Fred91, I'd say this is a little bit tongue-in-cheek. It's season over for Limerick. Kingston, shocking red. Let's see what else is here. Kieran Joyce was very good today. He certainly was. Really promising young player. Blood in the water means the Sharks are circling for the kill. Over a league game, Harley. Adrian McGrath, Limerick have a brilliant first 15, but after that, it's questionable how good they are. Please let us know what you think. I'll have the link up for the Monday show pretty soon, and you can get any questions in there. It's a Cork, Waterford, Munster final, and can Limerick now beat Tipperary and Clare to get the third spot? Probably a bit tongue-in-cheek there as well. So plenty of comments in there. We'll be talking a bit more tomorrow. Get your comments in. Let us know what you think. Follow us on patreon.com/OurGame so you don't miss out on any of the exclusive content there.